Yes. Uh-huh. This wireless plan, yeah. Could you explain what Wi-Fi is and why it ended up on my phone? Yes. And then exactly how does Google Fi, yes, connect to cell phones? And then what tracking software is used that would leave these little Wi-Fi right now? Now, somehow I think that Google, though they say that they're doing something really nice, obviously they're in the business to sell product. Yes. And there's a little Alphabet lawsuit that I mentioned in well, I just want to know of all these public Wi-Fi spots that are paid for by either the cities, the counties, the reservations, the states, or the federal government. Yes. Is there anything in those locations where, right now, excuse me, Alphabet, billionaires are cheap, aren't they? Yeah. They want everything for free and they want to spend their billions on using technology to have control of what people do and what people don't do. So why don't you get me the eyes, yes, of the actual free public Wi-Fi? Yes. Now, I know we're all supposed to be on each other, but I dislike this thought. Yes. And these harassing and abusive practices where the federal treasury is going to collect on the debt as a debtor to the state of Washington. I think it is harassment and it is an abusive practice, right, for the court to issue a dissolution of marriage where I didn't get any notice of court hearings. Now, I talked to you about malicious harassment. Then I talked to you this morning about the harassment of letting my personal, well, it's very abusive to issue a court order for permanent child support without any due process to the respondent. Are you abusing your power today? See, these debt collectors known as the state of Washington, yes, publish a list of consumers who allegedly refuse to pay debts, or should I say, publish a statement of a consumer, yes, where the county got to know that I had not paid back child support. When you think about the state right now, it's very abusive, isn't it? Sheriff, it's abusive to myself and my family to refuse to enforce the requirements of the law. It's harassing, yes, to issue protection orders where there is forgery and fraud. It's abusive and harassing to arrest me for crimes when you have the evidence that I didn't commit any crime. Ooch! It's abusive and harassing to refuse to acknowledge I have no criminal record. Ouch! It is abusive and harassing to continue to put me in jail when you know I did not commit any crime. Now, I'm wanting you to remove yourselves from my life. And I'm wanting to speak to Marilyn about these prohibited practices of Clallam County. Yes, where you use a picture of my sister Susan Bowers in a Rotarian newsletter. Yes, and then you refuse to acknowledge, right, that I have any rights at all. Yes, because you keep saying that I'm crazy for knowing what. You know, I was on the Treasury's website. Yes, Commercial Bank Examination Manual. Now, I'd have a difficult time getting a job in a commercial bank, Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. Why don't you get me the individuals that are in the banks? Yes, that are employees of the banks. Pooh. Now, this is an examination manual for U.S. branches and agencies of foreign banking organizations. These foreign banking or hello, these foreign banking organizations. Yes. Could you get me every bank? That is registered? Yes. To do any banking in the United States of America. Now, just looking at it, okay, it makes it difficult for me, yes, to be able to get some sort of employment where well, I just want all the foreign banking organizations with U.S. operations. Yeah. Now there's 441 pages in here. Yeah. And there are all kinds of laws that you're violating. Oh. Now the Federal Reserve Board and the Federal Reserve Bank supervision personnel. Yes. New York State Banking Department, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. Yes. And the Conference of State Bank Supervisors. Why don't you find out who those individuals are and what radio station they're listening to? Oh, now, quite often when you do know about, oh, look at this, foreign banking organizations have a long-standing presence in the United States of America. And the Board of Governors, oh, Reserve Banks, the Foreign Bank Supervision Enforcement Act or Enhancement Act. Yeah. Now, as much as I don't like the idea of the office, the responsibility of respective licensing authorities, there's not any radio signals in any foreign banks, are there? Let's say you're getting a radio signal from, well, from France, or Germany or China. Pooh. Could you just get me the physical locations of the actual operation of all the foreign banks in the United States? Yes, where all the employees would make sure to do exactly what the FBSEA says? Yes, yes, yes. Now, it seemed to me that well, I just want to know the actual radio station of each and every foreign bank in the world. Well, my golly, there's Chinese banks over here, Bank of China, and there's French banks in the United States of America, German banks. Oh, and well, of course, they employ. There's nobody listening to that left ear about, well, we just have to do it this way. Oh, the examination objectives, internal control questionnaire, audit guidelines. Yes. Let's say you're a foreign bank in the United States and oh, you didn't. Oh, you're listening to a radio station in a foreign nation while working in the United. Oh, you're listening in your left ear, your right ear. Exactly. Oh my gosh, where did all that technology come from? It's so good that you have a foreign bank operation in the United States of America, but you should not be listening to any foreign radio stations while employed at the individual banks. I know. But let's say super top secret.